Squid Game Season 3, or let's say 2.5, whatever, has been out for quite some time now. I finally got to watch it. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name's Stu and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now, Squid Game is one of my all-time favourite shows. I'm talking in particular about season 1, but it's not like what we've had since then is bad either. It's just that season 1 is just really, to me it's still mind-blowing. I just love it from start to finish. So many good elements and it was such a big surprise. I watched it multiple times, you know, it just hit all the correct notes for me. So as you can imagine, I had very high expectations and demands of the Squid Game franchise continuing. Now, I did also review season 2, which I felt was also quite interesting. I mean, they managed to sort of give us what we wanted, you know, from the first season, the things that we liked, but they also added a bit of a twist to make it and keep it interesting. The only thing that felt really weird was where they cut it off, because season 2 and season 3 feel like they're actually just one season, you know, but they obviously decided, no, we're gonna, I don't know, increase the tension, or because obviously they're gonna do a lot more with the franchise. They're like, oh, we still need to prepare some stuff, so let's, you know, just delay it a wee bit so that the wait after that's not too long. I think all sorts of shenanigans went on behind the scenes, because to me, I see it in my mind as just being 2 seasons. You know, season 1 that came out years and years ago, and season 2 and 3 I just view as one season, because it feels like a very continuous story over the 2 seasons in that sense. Anyway, so yes, I had high expectations. This season 3 also doesn't have that many episodes, and that's another reason I feel like, you know, you could have just tacked them onto the second one. Never mind. So if you're not familiar, I mean, I am assuming that you have seen the previous seasons, at least season 2. You would have to watch to really get season 3. Seeing the first one obviously helps too. So we stopped off, if you remember, with a big betrayal at the end of the second season, and obviously the games are not finished yet. So we're seeing in this season, I mean, to keep the plot description very, very short, because you can actually, we're just seeing the continuation of the games up to their conclusion. And at the same time, we've still got the police officer with the sort of gangsters trying to find the island, you know, trying to catch the guys, organizing them, trying to stop the games from continuing, all these kind of things. That is the basic plot. So we've still got games going on, the group is getting smaller and smaller, the tensions are getting higher, because if you remember from the second season, you've got people after every round of games, they vote on whether their games are going to continue or not, which I felt was a really cool twist. It's like, okay, people really have to actively decide, are they going to do it, are they going to not? And yeah, so it creates additional tension. So we've still got that going on, and especially towards the end, I will say the tension gets really high through some certain circumstances that I'm not going to spoil for you here. But they really managed to increase the tension quite a lot towards the end. And at times you're really not sure how they're going to continue. So that I feel is always cool when a film or a TV show where you're not sitting there going, oh yeah, no, they're going to do this, this and that. And you know, it turns out to be right, because the whole thing is just very predictable, very stereotypical, very by the numbers. Here, you think you know how it's going to go, and then you're suddenly going, oh wow, no, it's not possible that way. You know, that, I really love that. I really love to be surprised. Yeah, so it's still very high quality. I must say Squid Game as a whole is a really satisfying watch in terms of quality, not just because of Jung-jae, who plays Sang-Gi-hun, the main character. You know, I mean, he is just wonderful to watch on screen. I discovered him with Squid Game, and yeah, I mean, he's a fabulous actor. He's really good. I mean, he stole the show in Star Wars Acolyte, despite not really being able to speak English well. You know, I mean, it's incredible. Anyway. Really like that. Also, the ideas for the games are still very interesting, you know. Really, really cool. One thing I really felt that, even also in the second season, I wasn't too happy with is this sort of subplot we've got going on. I mean, there's actually another subplot here. We've got 2 subplots that go on. One is the policeman with the gangsters trying to find the island. That really didn't do much for me. I get that they put it in there. I just felt that, let's put it this way, they had too much screen time. We focused on them far too much, because ultimately they didn't really affect the story that much. It wasn't that significant, you know, and every every time we switched to the boat on their search and stuff, I was like, you know, I want to go back. I want to go back to the island to see what they're doing. So that, I feel they should have done something else with it, or again, limited their screen time, because while what they were doing was important, it felt like they were given just too much time to do that. There's a second subplot with one of the soldiers and one of the contestants that also gets a lot of screen time, which I really don't understand. It's like, okay, in the first one we had the policeman, you know, being sort of undercover and finding out more about the organization and stuff like that. That made sense because we want to learn more of them. It's like they were like, okay, we need to have a similar thing happening in the second one where somebody is sort of infiltrating the group. You didn't need to have that. So again, that was something that to me just gave it a lot more, I don't know, I mean, this subplot just took away from time that we could have spent with the main stuff, which I would have enjoyed more. So that is a bit of a downside here. Everything else, so like I say, the tension towards the end is incredible. I really enjoyed it quite a lot. Definitely didn't go out the way I expected it to. One thing, I mean, this is spoilery, but I mean, it was all over the internet. Even before I watched it, because I was a bit late in watching it, I had already seen this plastered all over the internet, where you see suddenly that in, I think, is it LA? Pretty sure it is LA. We've suddenly got an American version of Squid Game with Cate Blanchett. I mean, I was like, fuck this. Don't get me wrong, I was like, yes, okay, I mean, it's obvious that Netflix is going to continue with Squid Game, right? I get that original creator, I mean, he lost teeth over this, the stress and all that. I absolutely understand that, right? I absolutely get that. He's like, I'm done, I don't want to continue. I understand. Obviously, it was such a huge success for Netflix that they're like, we have to continue doing this, right? In some way, shape or form. That was obvious. My dread with it being Netflix is they're so hit and miss, so you know, I don't want them taking something like Squid Game and just turning it into a mediocre thing, right? Something that will just disappoint me. But then, I must say, the first snippet we get at the end of this show is they've got Cate Blanchett. I'm like, fuck, they've got me. Because if Cate Blanchett is in it, I'm sorry, I'm definitely going to give it a try. Just to see, because I mean, just thinking about, just so you understand, is because we see a scene in LA and they play these entry level games, I'll call it. It's Dakji, where they throw the envelope and, you know, and they try to flip the other one over. And she's the one playing. And that character, just in season 1 and season 2, he was so cool. He was so, especially in the second season, he does some really bonkers things. So just to see that, how, you know, what kind of version would she have of this crazy guy who gets people, gamblers, to enter a game that will really that will really challenge everything that they can and know about themselves, and also is just really lethal, or could be potentially lethal. So anyway, casting her is definitely a very interesting choice, something that will get me to watch. Like I said, just please, 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 Netflix, don't turn it into something mediocre. Please, because that would kill me inside a bit. You know, taking something, I mean, the first season, if you are interested, my favourite episode is Ganbu. It's the 7th one, I think. I mean, that just crushed my soul, that episode. That was really quite something, even to this day when I think about it. Just watching that for the first time was really, was incredible. Just that twist that they have, rather towards the start, just wow. Anyway. So it's still very good. I'm very happy to say that. So Squid Game as a whole package, really fun. I hope you do watch in Korean. I do it anyway with English subtitles, because obviously you want to get the original performances. You've got some really devious characters throughout the whole thing here as well. And you're sitting there, you know, really egging everyone else, and you're like, please, these really terrible people, they need to get their comeuppance. That really eggs you on as well. Yes, very high recommendation for me. If you've got Netflix, you should absolutely give Squid Game yeah, a chance. But you probably have heard about it anyway, because it really was massive a few years ago. That will be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about anything you want to say about Squid Game, whole thing, you know, just this part, whatever. I mean, even the second and third season, they were also really, really popular, right? They're not the all-time high like the first one was, but they are still incredibly popular. So many people still very interested in this franchise. So obviously they're going to continue. But anyway, if you have thoughts on that, put them down in the comments below. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care.